Hey everybody, it's Ruder bringing you another League of Legends commentary. This time I'm going to be playing Wukong, the Monkey King. Now I was very eager to go ahead and get into this commentary, just for the fact that a lot of people in the community are very divided on whether this champion is good, whether he's bad, whether Freak overdid him in the spotlight, whether, if he's just a standard melee brawler, what people really think about him and how he actually sits. The other cool part about this video is that Classic is actually a Riot employee. I did obtain this footage on the 29th of July, so Frost and Classic both are very high ELO players, but Classic did work for Riot and did have the Demon Blade Tryndamere skin a hair early, so you will get to see that footage in-game, whereas you probably wouldn't be able to somewhere else. So let's go ahead and get right into this one. Alright, so the big thing with Wukong is that he has a fantastic laning phase. He has very good harass, especially if you're running offensive masteries and offensive runes. You're going to be able to excel and bully your lane very efficiently. As you see here, I'm not missing any last hits, but at the same time, anytime I can force him away from the experience is going to be a benefit to me. You harass with your E, follow up with an extra auto attack, and you can lower their health very quickly. Really, I don't want to say that he's overpowered. I don't want to say that he won't struggle against certain enemies, but this is a very solid example of utilizing the harassment that Freak mentioned with the E followed up by the Q for the extra hit. And you can actually use your E to get back to creeps, as you saw right there, just to ensure that you don't miss last hits. He really needs the farm. No matter how you're going to build this champion, he's going to need the farm, and so you're going to need to make sure that you're getting all the last hits. But as you see there with the EQ follow-up, you have a very, very strong laning presence, especially in a solo lane, where I really do recommend that he either takes mid or top, taking 1v1. He doesn't do so well in a 2v2 lane. He doesn't provide that stun or the extra slow or anything. Really, all he provides is burst damage real quick, and then he can get right back out. And I think that definitely plays towards this playstyle, but you do have to get used to it. By the time you hit 6 or 7 on Wukong, you should be looking for a kill. You should have already gone back and got your boots, you should have your Philo Stone finished, and you should be just rolling in the gold and the experience. You have very easy harassment, you can get to your opponent, you can do your E, your Q, and then you can move out and continue farming. As you see, I can just wear him down to the point where I'm going to be able to spin on him with my ultimate, and we're going to go for the kill. We're going to get him knocked up in the air, and we're going to take down his health as hard as possible. Here, I E'd him. I should have Q'd before, let that Q land, but I did spend trying to get the knockup, being a little bit too greedy, and he did get away. But he is at 30%, and he did waste his flash. My cooldowns are already back up, except for the ultimate, and I still have Ghost and Flash. So really, I took out his summoner spell for my ultimate. I'll take that trade any day. He plays very aggressively. You need to be up in people's faces, and his ability skill set does allow him to do that. Here I go for the Blitzcrank in middle lane. I come in from the side. He starts power running away. I go for the E, I get the Q, and then I spin. I didn't think I was going to get to him before he could pull me into the tower, so I flash on top of him, getting the knockup. We did get another flash, another summoner spell for my ultimate. I really feel it's on such a short cooldown, and unless you're in the teamfight phase already, you don't really need to save it. Anytime you can get a summoner spell off of another champion, you're probably doing okay. Now, his skill set does allow him to farm very well. The Q allows you to get an extra last hit in there. The E, if you get 3 creeps low, you want to go ahead and E them, get the last hits, that's great. I really just urge, don't push the lane too hard. Here I go back in for another hit. I did get another flash, and my ultimate wasn't even up at the time, so now we're looking for a kill using the ultimate. The big thing that I have found using Wukong is that he has a great last hit animation, and you really should not be missing last hits. Here I go for the E, I get the Q on him, I spin, I continually speed up. That is a very nice part of the ultimate that people overlook. They say that it's better to just cancel it, but you are allowed to speed yourself up the longer you stay in that ultimate, and that can be very beneficial for staying on top of a carry, staying on top of someone that needs to be taken out of the fight. Alright, so as I'm working on top tower against Maokai here, I do see that a lot of my teammates are being chased across map from Tryndamere and Janna. I go ahead and move on down there. Teemo does drop a shroom. I flash over the wall, and I E towards the opponents. I get a spin on top of everybody, getting a knockup. They all run through the shroom. They're all going very low quickly. We do take out Janna. Tryndamere tries to spin over the wall. He fails. He flashes. Their Blitz flashes over the wall, and then our Blitz tries to flash over the wall and fails pretty hard. That is Ugly Tractor, for those of you that are very active on the forums, and they do recognize him from, I think, solomid.net. While he is a fantastic player, I don't think Blitz is his forte. Here we go, Tryndamere, everyone's a little split up here. They're all coming in from different angles. We do have the Fiddlesticks ult on top of Blitz. Their Blitz knocks ours up. Tryndamere's going back on top of Teemo. He exhausts Teemo. Teemo's in trouble. I go for Tryndamere. I get the E on him. I Q him. I would have knocked him up if I didn't think he would have escaped very easily, so I did save the ultimate. There, they did take out Fiddlesticks. Nocturne gets a fear and a slow on top of Blitz. I go ahead and E to him. I get the spin, and one more auto attack right after the ultimate is done, and I do get the kill. I think that saving your ultimate can be fantastic, but I also think it can be a fantastic initiation tool. You really need to judge for yourself during the middle of these team fights. Like, Tryndamere would not have been a great target for it, because he could have escaped very easily. Here I'm top lane, I'm trying to escape from a Blitz and a Maokai. I go ahead and stop right here in the brush. They think I might have decoyed. I decoy after, and I sneak into the top brush. I wasn't visible, so they didn't see me move there, but I did E to those creeps trying to get away. I'm just watching the cooldown on my decoy. And I'm looking to get away here. He's a very slippery champion. He's very difficult to kill, and I think that the way I built him as a tanky DPS actually benefits greatly. I flash out of there after Maokai gets a stun on me. Blitz comes in, and he ultimates, trying to get a silence on everyone. And there were 4 top pressuring, but here comes the cavalry. On our side, we have Nocturne and our Teemo going initiating. Sona comes up from the rear. I do E towards Fiddlesticks. I do ultimate, trying to get the knock up on him before he ultimates, and he got it off anyways. There we did get the kill. It just shows that he's so hard to kill, really. And I think that tanky is the way to build on him. I played tons of games, and I think that's why a lot of people are disappointed. They're trying to build him full DPS, Phantom Dancers, Bloodthirsters, you know, Trinity Force, you name it, and they're not being very happy because they expected a much better, I don't know, melee Xin type champion. I find that he does plenty of damage, but you need to do it correctly. I go for the Warmogs and Atmas, and I do tons of damage. Here, I go on top of Janna. Janna tries to knock me up. I'm not taking a lot of damage because of the Stone Skin passive. I stay on top of her. She does flash away, so we got the Summoner spell there. Our Blitz and our Teemo come in to save the day. Their Blitz flashes over the wall again. Our Blitz tries to hook. He fails. I E towards Maokai. I get the Q on him, and he flashes. So we got 3 flashes for no Summoner spells there. I think we're doing okay. And as I was saying, I think Atmogs is absolutely, without a doubt, the best build you can do on this champion. Between the passive bonus that you're going to be receiving from magic resistance being in the middle of these team fights and the Merc Treads, that should be enough magic resist to keep you alive in these team fights in the early game. Now, I do say Atmogs because once you finish those, you probably want to start looking towards magic resistance if there's multiple casters that you are afraid of. Here, I just come in to clean up the team fight. I E on top of Blitz, and I spin on top of him and Maokai, knocking both up. Maokai punches us away, and I do get one more E right here in the brush and take him out. But you do want to adapt your build. I think Atmogs is stable. It gives you so many benefits for staying on top of a carry, which is your main concern for any of these games. But if there are multiple casters, build some magic resistance after. Here I did get focused by Janna and Tryndamere in top lane. I did ultimate them to knock them up. I Ghost and Flash around the corner, and as I was saying, he's incredibly difficult to kill if you use your summoners correctly, and if you stay on top of using your decoy correctly. After a very uneventful Baron, we go ahead and push towards bottom lane, looking to push out the lane, trying to go for the inhibitor. We do see Fiddlesticks by himself. Nocturne ults, gets towards him. He does flash away from Nocturne. Sona does find 3 of them in the middle of our team. I do have to ghost around the corner back at the bottom, trying to catch up. Blitz knocks up Tryndamere. Tryndamere goes for Sona. He starts working on Sona. Sona flashes away. I jump to Tryndamere. I go ahead and ultimate, knocking him up, trying to make him waste his ultimate as long as possible. He takes out Teemo. I stay on top of Janna. She pushes me out. We have Nocturne working on Maokai on the right, and I am taking out Janna to the left. Janna flashes over the wall. Blitz and Nocturne take out their Fiddlesticks, and I stay on top of their Blitz. Now, this champion is a great cleanup crew. He's a great initiator, and he chases down runners very efficiently. The only problem with chasing down runners with this champion is that you have to be within range to E them. Now, you can E creeps around them, but really what it comes down to is you need to have a visual connection, otherwise you're not going to be able to catch him. Here, I back away, stop taking repeated tower hits, and as you see, I use my decoy for a neat little trick there. If you do it perfectly in between tower shots, it will take the next tower shot for you and confuse the tower. Nocturne and I start pushing out this bottom lane, going for the easy bottom turret. The only one that's left is Tryndamere, and he's not willing to fight, but the 2 of us together, and your Q does work on towers, so make sure you're utilizing that, and we go ahead and back out. We do have a very large lead here. It is 21-12, although we do have the Baron, although we do have the buffs, and the lead on kills. This game is rather close, just because Tryndamere is such a late-game hero. Here we go in on Blitz. Blitz gets feared by Nocturne. Everyone jumps him. We take him out very efficiently, and that leaves us 5v4, and we're going to go ahead and steal their blue buff. So my only concern at this point in the game is to make sure that Tryndamere is taken out as much of the team fight as possible. I do get the Q on him, and Nocturne jumps in for the fear. Fiddlesticks ults on top of us. I ult on top of Janna, getting a knock up on him and Fiddlesticks. They pull Maokai back to the back of the team fight. I stay on top of Janna. Tryndamere is basing to the left. I take the bait, not thinking I'm going to be able to catch up with Janna. And the rest of our team continues to focus down Maokai. One perfect hook from Ugly Tractor here. Fantastic hook there, buddy, even after I bashed your Blitz. And our Sona does go down to Tryndamere, picking up a very easy kill. Blitz chases down Tryndamere, making sure he gets the punch, and that will be the end of Demon Blade Tryndamere. Not as cool a death animation, I will say, but I do like the graphics, as I said earlier. Here we're pushing middle lane right after that push bottom. I do get the Q on Blitz, and I back out just to stop taking tower hits. I go back in, Teemo Shroom plus my auto attacks take him out with the poison, and I start moving away from the tower. We do want to get this tower, but at the same time, we realize we're probably a hair overextended. Teemo takes 2 tower shots and dies, giving Frost a nice kill on Janna. He does get the slow on our Nocturne, and Blitz and I turn around here thinking we could probably save him from the Fiddlesticks. Fiddlesticks is a very squish champion at this point. He's not much of a threat, but we figured we'd go back in with low health and do some damage. Maokai does some damage on the other hand, and we back out of there realizing we're probably a little overextended, and I'm sitting at under 300 health, and we continue running. They are probably going to get Blitzcrank. There's nothing I can do to help him here. Tryndamere is just pissed that he's been dying so much, and I use the Shroom Minefield to my advantage to get away from Tryndamere. And like I said, he is not happy with me, and he really would like to see me dead. I am sitting at 7-0-6 at this point at the 36-minute mark, and, you know, it really goes down to he's very hard to kill. I don't want to say that I'm playing him extremely well or anything. It's just that if you play him correctly, and you get in and you get out when you need to, you will be okay. And you will have a very, very low death counter. As we finish off the second Baron here, we do see the opposing team coming. It looks like Blitz was pulling for a Fiddlesticks and instead got Tryndamere, not exactly who we wanted to see come over that wall. He does spin right back over, and it looks like we're just going to push the lane. We want to pick somebody off, make this next team fight a little bit easier as we do push, but we do have the help from the super minions in bottom lane. Instead of going for Tryndamere, I did get hooked like an idiot over the wall. Our Nocturne comes in on top of Janna. I ultimate, just knocking everybody up, trying to do as much damage as I can before I have to get out with those tower shots taking me. Sona ultimates right on top of Tryndamere, taking him out of the fight. We stay on top of Maokai, who's on top of Blitz, and Sona is taking tower shots like a perfect support should, and it looks like she's going to go down to Tryndamere here very quickly. I start working on top of him. He is exhausted. I decoyed, and I flashed out with 43 health, and I am going to get away. Like I said, this champion is so hard to kill. He is just slicker than anybody else. I mean, Shaco can deceive over walls, but really, this champion with his knock-up ability is just awesome. Here, we did break the Banshee's Veil with our Blitz going and pulling through on him. I get the knock-up on Fiddlesticks. I stay on top of him. A couple more auto attacks, an E and a Q, and a decoy. They do take him out. Tryndamere does find me alone without decoy up for another 3 seconds. I'm not looking good here. We do have the Blitz knock-up, plus the Super's working on Tryndamere. Nocturne is working on top of Maokai, and Tryndamere is going to go ahead and 1v1 Sona here. Although he does have his ultimate up, we do have a super minion, and this Sona is just too pro. She takes him out. That just goes to show you can't be too overconfident. You never know when that support's just going to rear its ugly head and take you out, right? That is going to pretty much conclude this game. I am 8-1-10 in this game. I did want to show you a game where I did well, but I wasn't overly fed. You know, I didn't go straight DPS items, so I wasn't two-shotting everybody. The only person that I may have been doing that to was Fiddlesticks. I hope you got an idea for how this champion plays. I might do more videos with him. I really enjoy him. He's a lot of fun. But what it comes down to is I feel he was overstated in Freak's spotlight. I feel he was, you know, up 20 kills and things weren't accurate, and it wasn't a very good portrayal of what this champion can do. You know, it can be the same for any champion. If you get way too fed, way too fast, you're going to be too much of a presence. And really, I think he's in a good place. He might need a few buffs for ratios, but really he's in a good place. So go out and pick him up. He is a little expensive for 6,300. This is Veruda. I'll catch you next time. Thanks, guys, for watching.